in any discipline, I think it's important to know mobile media, because I think everything is going to be mobile, and I think everything is going to be involved in digital user experience in some way.
This is a new technology. Nobody has really figured it out. So to be able to take a class that's geared on how to understand the app rather than just get an app out there, it was really intriguing to me.
I think the entire industry is, barely scratched the surface on what this actually means for communication.
I've always been interested in technology and kind of the new movements of mobile and how that's all developing, that whole field, and developing technologies, and so this was pretty much a perfect fit for me.
We know that right now, with the amazing shifts in how people create, in how people use these devices, and in how our professions are looking at what their futures are, we knew that it was important in our artificial world of terms and semesters and making these things happen that we get a group of people who were dedicated to really thinking about this from the very beginning of its inception.
We had a course before the actual device, in that the course started and the iPad was released 2 days later. So it was fairly novel in terms of how things usually happen within a university system, but I have to credit the dean here and the faculty for really being forward-thinking and realizing that this was something that we should do.
We jumped on it, knowing that these same conversations were going on all over the world, but certainly all over the newsrooms and advertising agencies and media consultancy firms that are wrestling with this idea.
We're working on a project for an outdoor magazine called When Magazine, and they're based out of Portland. They specifically focus on what they call human-powered excursions. So things like mountain climbing, extensive camping trips. They wanted to take their brand into the digital space, and they wanted to do that without damaging that human-powered element. So we're working on an iPad app that sort of blends the human-powered navigation tools you need.
You have to be willing to relook at how you teach, in the sense that there's sort of an improvisational nature to this course, in that other developers around the country, around the world, are learning as we're learning in terms of how to develop content for it. One of the things that's exciting is that we've been able to supplement what we're offering in the classroom by having guest speakers come in either via Skype. We had the woman who was the lead designer for the iPad app for the New York Times join us.
What the mobile devices have done is they've changed the context for use. So when and where people are using devices, when and where they're consuming news has changed. Those habits are very different than desktop usage.
And there's still so much more to learn. This is just like kind of touching the surface of what it could be.
There's endless possibilities, and now with the iPad having a bigger screen and the touch interface and the quality, the resolution, it's going to be incredible to see what's coming out there.
One of the great things about teaching is that you learn. So it's always been a collaborative enterprise with myself and my students. And I think we're going to see more and more classes like this throughout this school, throughout this university, and throughout universities across the country.